It does go boom.
Okay, so kind of like a cross between Railgun and Thunder?
Yep, exactly. So you have a... It actually looks like a... It operates like a shaft. So you have your main mode, which is... it's not smoky type as for shaft, it's more thunder-like type for the Gauss cannon. So you spam little shots, but they actually go splash. And then you have a secondary mode, which you can charge up, aim at some certain guy, and then it will instantly explode. What's the difference there is that you can actually move Gauss cannon while you're doing that.
Okay.
It's a big difference with the shaft. It doesn't deal as much damage, but it's still dealing lots of damage. And it actually can move. And the aiming mechanic is not the shaft type. It's actually, yes, striker.
Okay, so lock on.
Yeah, you lock it on, you aim in this thing as you do with the striker, and when the loading is ready, you're not shooting missiles, of course, you're just making one huge bomb, and the enemy goes flying. And it's gonna be great. So it's a long range cannon, actually.
And is it a one-shot kill most of the time? What's the plan?
I would say that currently damage stands somewhere between Railgun and the Magnum for this kind of... Of course, it takes lots of time to charge and reload that thing, but you can move, so it's kind of funny. And you have still your main auxiliary, firing mode when you spam the shots like you do with the Thunder. And it doesn't charge like with the shaft, or all you need to look at the enemy and get them explodes. And the one more thing about this cannon, it's gonna be, well, not particularly first turret that does this, but one of the first turrets. It has moving parts, not the how we call it, not the cannon, not the cannon part. You have something that transforms on the turret when you're going into special firing mode.
Okay, so it's a visual cue, so people know that it's time to run and hide.
Yeah, because we were thinking about another cannon with a laser, but there's too much lasers. You have strikes, you have shafts, and you'll be like, not the third one. Come on, Hazel, what are you doing? Make something new. And we have actually, we've come up with a thing when the turret itself transforms, so you can see what's going on.
Do you think you'll carry over this mechanic to other existing turrets? Maybe it's just a visual cue, like the movement.
It's really hard to install this thing to an existing turrets, but we will try to use that for future turrets, of course. As for existing turrets, well, you can add a cannon recoil, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm thinking more of the visual aspect. I mean, we already
it's still hard to do the visuals with how things have done. And when you have so many skins, you need to adapt skins for every visual changes, so it's not that easy. Right. Anyway, guys, Gauss cannon. It's like a shaft, but it doesn't pierce, it doesn't snipe. It goes, it explodes like you have a, like when Thunder and Striker and Railgun had a baby. Something like that.
Okay, that's a really weird baby. But okay, one of the things that I can already imagine players asking right now is, it feels like you're trying to mix and match 3 turrets, but
Yeah.
weaker versions of each turret, and like it's just gonna be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
No, it's not like that. It actually has a particular niche in the game. It stands somewhere between a railgun and a shaft. Well, the railgun is extremely mobile, and it can shoot from behind the obstacles very easily. It charges behind the cover, it pops up and shoots and goes back to the cover, right?
Right.
And then you have a shaft that just stands there and doesn't move and goes with a big explosion. I mean, a big shot. So the Gauss cannon is actually in between of those. It cannot use a, how we call that again? It cannot shoot from the cover as easily as a railgun does, because it still needs to stand and charge its shot, look at the enemy, but it can move. It's actually one of the, I would say, the most mobile sniper for the game, because it can move and you don't aim actually. All you need to do is hold the fire key and look at the general direction of the enemy as you do with a, with the striker, and eventually it will shoot itself.
So it's a seeking missile. It's a seeking.
It's same with the striker. When you so the striker, when you lock on the target, it shoots the missile with the seeking capabilities. What the Gauss does is when you locked onto the target and you're ready to shoot, it just explodes. The shot is instant, and it goes at any distance. So if you charge anything that's on the other side of the map, on a different server, you can kill it instantly. Well, I mean, you can hit it and use the armor and stuff like that.
So literally you don't see the shot?
They will see it because it's actually really loud and they see where it comes from.
Okay.
But they will need to, stand still. No, it doesn't like that. They can't see it's coming unless they see you. I mean, when you're running Transform, you will be pretty visible, I'm telling you that. And if they just doesn't react and don't hide, well, they're really gonna explode. So this is the mobile sniper, and you're gonna like it, because it's like Shaft in its best days, but you don't need to stop.
Okay.
Shaft cannot run away from its enemies. This can run. You can not only run, you can go sideways, you can maneuver, you can do weird stuff, and it still will keep aiming, and eventually your enemy is gonna explode.
Wow.
Yeah, but
with the new hull, I guess it's gonna.
Oh, with the new hull, it's gonna be really funny because you can circle strafe around your enemy and keep charging the shot while you're doing that.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be really
it's a whole
interesting
new level
to
of
try
gameplay.
Something like that. Yeah, we're really always trying to aim for that.
Okay, so here's an interesting question that I always get whenever we release a new.
Let me tell you that question. Where are the promo codes?
no, not that one. Not that
Okay.
one. Not that one. Every time we release a new feature, especially a new turret or hull, we get this criticism. Okay. You made it overpowered so that lots of people would buy it, so that you would make lots of money, and then you're gonna nerf it. And then you nerf it. And
I really love
money
that
back.
one because, well, thing is, balance change is going to occur anyway, and if you're trying to accuse us of that we're making money off the balance changes, it really doesn't work like that, because after the 10 years of this game being up, everybody has every cannon, every kind of turret, any kind of combination. So it's not about trying to make you buy another hull. It's really about trying to keep the number of hulls and some sort of an equilibrium in the game. And when it comes to a new turrets, it's not like that, because we're not really aiming to make something really overpowered from the beginning. But what's actually happening, it's like with the Magnum. We have tried Magnum for some time, and we have gave it to players, and we realized players have no idea how to play with them. They really can't play.